Hello, welcome everyone. You are welcome to Tech for You GH Consulting, and this is 90 Days Excel Skills Challenge. Today is day 4, and day 3 we looked at the interface and we said it was plenty. So we divided it into two to look at the part 1 and part 2. Today we are going to run through quickly with the part 2. And so for this 10 minutes, we are going to learn the part 2 of the interface, and our objective is to be able to navigate through the Excel interface with confidence without any fear. So yesterday we looked at the title bar, where we looked at the name, the book name, the quick access toolbar, and then the controls. We also looked at the ribbon. We introduced ourselves to the home page, and we saw a lot of tools or groupings in the home page and how to use this. We want to quickly continue with it by looking at the Insert tab in the ribbon. Now, the Insert tab, think of it as the Add button. So it is not just a text, it is like charts, pictures, and any other thing that we want to add to the Excel sheet. So that external things that we bring into the Excel sheet, like shapes, like pictures, like text, like other stuff on our computer, can be done through the Insert tab. We can also add the data that we have, analyze them, and so on and so forth. So let's quickly run through the Insert tab. Here, we have a grouping called the tables, and it deals with pivot tables as well as the tables that we do. Those with Office 365 will see the forms as a way of collecting online data. So that is part of the table. Then we have illustrations where we can add pictures into the Excel book that we have. We can also add various shapes to it. You can pick and draw whatever shape size you have and edit it as well. So that is what is also there. We can also add icons and other stuff to it. If you are connected to the internet, you have a lot of icons to add to give more illustrations or vivid explanations to some of the text and values or work you are doing in Excel, just to add it. Then you can also do your other screenshots. You can take a screen of the sheet that you have and then you get it nice. You can do your 3D and other things. The thing is that depending on the version of Excel that you are using, you would have more tools or less tools, and you can always go to the customized sessions to add more tools to it. Then another important grouping that we have in the insert is also the charts. This is where we add all the graphics, all the charts that we add to this. We select the table. We can deal with line charts, area charts, and so many charts that we have. We can also deal with the pie chart and others. We have our column histogram, column charts, and so forth that we want to add to it. So many charts that we can do. If we have a data, we can also do the pivot chart as well. We also have the spark lines as a grouping where we can do it. All these tools, will come and use them so that you know how to use it. We also looked at the test side where we can add text headers so that we can give headers and footers and other stuff to it. We also can bring so many symbols into Excel to work with it. So technically, these are some of the things that we can do at the insert. Take your time, click on any of the tabs, tools that you have to know more about it. And whenever you see this small arrow down here, that means that there are more things inside that you can do to it. So you can click on it and get more other tools as well. So that is the insert. Thank you. Let's move to the layout. Now the layout tab also have a group of tools that help us to prepare the Excel interface for printing. So like Word is like already arranged and prepared for printing. So when you open your Word, you are able to print it well. But in Excel, it's a whole interface. And if you don't really determine the size or the area you want to print, you end up printing more spaces than you needed. So we use the layout to manipulate or manage our printing settings and how the work actually moves. So we can go to the themes first, where we can check the colors and things that we have. So the themes helps us to be able to set the theme color for the way that we want to print. So we can have the colors, we can have so many themes that we can select. We can also have the fonts and then select a lot of font size. We can also have the effect of it that we want to do. So that's one. The other second page is the page out setup. So the page setup has to do with our margins, our orientations, our size, our area, set print area, the page breaks, the background, the titles, and so on and so forth. And like I said, if you see this small arrow here, it means that you can click on it and can do more other stuff in it. So the print area means that if I want to print this section of the Excel sheet, I'll just select the section, go to the print area, and then I'll set the to print, and then I'll print it. When I go to the printing, I can print. Okay, so aside the page prints, like we said, we have the breaks, the titles, and then the print titles, which will help. We'll come back to set up a page and print during the course of the training. So we can also have the scale tool and all that. But these are basically what we do in the page layout tab. Now the formula is the engine of all the functions and the calculations that we do. So it actually contains all the formulas that we use to work in the Excel, the functions. So when you come here, you can have the auto sums, you can have the under the formula library, we can have the auto sums, we can have the recent use formulas, we can have the financial formulas or functions, we can have the logical functions, the test functions, the date and time, the lookups and references, and more other functions that we can have in it. So the formula functions library hosts all the functions that we use to do the work. And many a times, all the functions that we are going to use will be here. So we'll also be using the functions, the formula tab a lot to do the work that we do. But one other important aspect of the formula tab is the define names that help us to be able to create a defined names for cells and range of cells that can help us refer to formulas. We can manage all our defined names too as well. And then we can also create defined names. We can use them in a formula and so on and so forth. We will come back and use them during the course of the challenge. We can also do kind of formula auditing by looking at the precedents, dependents, also showing errors and checking errors as well in our formula. We can also do some here. We can set the calculations. So we can determine to do automatic calculations so that Excel will do all forms of calculation automatically, or we can also set manual calculations as well. So this is what we do under the formula. We would spend time to go through all the items one after the other and know them. So that is the formula tab for you as well. Now let's quickly also look at the data tabs. In fact, the data tab is for the professionals, those who are more into the data analytics, and it helps us to manipulate all the data that we have in Excel. So we have like get and transform data as a tool group where it helps us to connect to external data sources. And there are so many data sources that we can connect to. We can connect to files, forms, PDFs. We can connect to databases, so many forms of databases. We can connect to Microsoft Azure databases and so many defined databases. So whenever we get to data analysis, where we are connecting to data sources external, we can come back here and connect them. This place will help us to manage all the data, even extracting data from pictures, from the website, and so many other things that we can do. And that is under the get and transform data at the data tab. Another group is also the queries and connections. When we connect the data to external source, we can use this size to be able to manage the queries and connections that we have on it already. And so we can also refresh all our queries as well. Then we can also do the traditional sorting. the sorting and the filter that we saw at the home page. This is where it has. It helps us to be able to manipulate the data very well, so we can sort from so many forms, as well as also filter and do advanced filter. We will use all these tools, so don't worry. Then the data tools contains all the tools that we use to manipulate the data. So we can have the text to columns, we can have the fly fill, we can have the remove duplicates, the data validations, the consolidate data to work on it. So all these are very important for us to be able to manipulate data or manage data, and we call them data management tools. We'll come back to look at them. Then the forecasting, what if analysis, where we do the scenario manager, go seek and data tables, and other data groupings that we can have in a system. And this basically we do that. So anytime you think of managing a data or manipulating data in Excel, your friend will be the data tab, where you can have a bunch of tools to help you to be able to manage the data. Now let's go to the review. In the review, we can do like proofreading, maybe our spellings, check the meaning of words and workbook statistics and all that. But the most important thing we want to talk about here is the comments that we can do, and also show changes that people are doing on their work, so we can track changes as well. So changes and comments, as well as protect worksheet. These are most important areas we cannot do away when we come to the review. We can issue comments in a work, so that when somebody is reviewing it, the person would understand, read your comment, which are additional information we don't want to keep in a cell, but to provide to the reader of that workbook, so that they can get deeper or some kind of information. Then the protect is that as I'm working on this sheet, I can protect part of the cells or protect the entire face. And then I can also protect the worksheet, so that when I send the work to somebody and I don't want the person to edit part of it, the person will be able to view the work without editing. So the protect will let me define a lot of things that the person should be able to do or should not be able to do. And that is in the protect sheet as well. Now, the last one we want to talk about is the developer tab. And in fact, the developer tab connect us to the programming part of the Excel. So where we can record macros, which are automating part, we can also write our own macros to be able to automate it. So this is the VBA environment of Excel, and it helps us to be able to add modules that we can write any code that we want to write to control the interface of the Excel. So the moment we talk about Excel automations or using macros and VBA to automate the Excel, then the tab that we sit on it is called the developer tab. So in our automation aspect or in using macros, we will come to the developer tab and then build on the developer tab very well. The last thing is to how to customize our ribbon. Then we go to the file stage, where this takes, and the file takes us to the backstage of the Excel applications, where we can open new, we can open existing, we can share, we can find the product information, who is creating this program, and then we can also look at the workbook protect. The thing is that we'll come back to look at the workbook protect because it's the security of the Excel spreadsheet, and we will take our time to look at it very well. We can also check compatibility issues and other stuff within the Excel, and all is done at the file, which is the backstage. But one other step is to be able to also check the account. And oftentimes people will ask me, they want to find the version of Excel they are using. So you go to the file and come to the account, and then you can see the account information, who has registered this account or whose name is this account registered. Then you can also see the Microsoft product that you are using. So product information, subscription, and as well as the version of the Excel that you are using as well. So you get all of them at the backstage. Then the option is helping us to be able to also do other stuff. So this video is going to be long. We want to end here, and then we will do the part 3 to take our time to look at the options, the file, how do we customize the interface, and then how do we customize the ribbon. So let's meet in the day 5, where we learn how to customize our Excel interface. But today we continued with the navigating, and then we would close it with the customization of our Excel interface. That will be part 3 of the navigation of Excel interface. So thank you very much. Don't forget to check the description for the problem of the day and solve it. And when you do so, please leave a comment in the comment section. Don't also forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that as soon as we drop the video, you get the notification and then you head to complete the challenge. Thank you very much and stay blessed. Thank you.